nothing like it in sub-Saharan Africa. The only place they've been invited in Africa to do it is Morocco, and it's the government of Morocco that is doing it. So this is going to happen, and it's happening by May the 1st. We've already marked. We had to remove all our markets. Engineer Demola Daga, please stand up so they can see this. One of our engineers who's worked very hard. Our COO, our consultant COO is not here today. Gamal Al-Haidi, who is from Egypt, is not here today. He unavoidably had to be in Anambra State. He's more like a Nigerian. He's lived here for 30 years, even though he's from Egypt. And other staff, at some point I will introduce them. So this is the water place. Part of what will happen is this water you are looking at, it dances to music. Not only does it dance to music, then it will be concentrated to become a TV screen. And video will be projected. Video will be projected. So you came with your children, you bought ice cream from the mall, you sat at the promenade. Before you know, your children have paid up to say happy birthday. Which mommy shall we put here? Mommy Dorothy Obata will say happy birthday, whatever your name is. You just see your name written on the water. There will be video screen. Nigeria's independence will play the video. Lagos State is doing something major, we'll play the video. Nothing offensive. We'll play videos of musicians that are not immoral and that are not religious but just amoral in the middle. Because we don't want to offend anyone. Makarios is for everybody. I hope I make sense of this water place. It's going to be a major statement. It's going to be very major. 1.5 acres of the most prime part of our land is what we're using, the one which faces the road. But our mind is to see that we do something that you also can be proud of. And then beyond the water display, I like to talk about the whole of Makarios. Like I said earlier, it is 33 hectares. 33 hectares, 8,000 square meters of just CEO of UPDC. Most of you who know real estate, please let us celebrate Mr. Kim Ogunera. But 8,000 is 2 acres of a mall that will just be at the back here. And then we have 2,000 square meters of office space. When you go out of this hall, the other side is still part of the commercial. We'll show you later how Makarios is divided essentially into 2 sections, commercial and residential. And if you don't live in Makarios and they didn't invite you, you cannot enter the residential. It's going to be like a fortress. Then we have 2,250 event hall. So that if you came to Makarios to wed, you can use the water place for your background, the event hall for your reception, or the children's park, which you will see later. The next slide. Here, Makarios shows you that we're going to be having an estate. I mean, most of the time, the people who are HNIs, high network investors, want a place which they can live and they didn't have to hassle, and they have rest, they have peace of mind. So Makarios will be a place where you have peace of mind because we have parks. And I was showing some people outside. Our layout approval was pursued by a one-time commissioner for physical planning, the one who handled it for us, and the one-time president of Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. So even where we wanted to compromise, he would say no way. So we have 1.5 acres of football field, basketball, and any other kind of sport you want to do. Then another 0.5 acre again. I'm just wondering who life really our ball will be by ye. But we have so many parks in Makarios where it just means you are able to go sit down in the park and play in the park. Next slide. Makarios, like I told you, has a commercial section and a residential section. The commercial section has a major mall, which is 8,000 square meters, and we are likely to just sell the space to the people who will build the mall, or we might build it ourselves and then look for a major carrier, a major business that will now attract the others. But certainly Makarios will be a place where you can come and shop and you can also dine. You see, Makarios has four things. It's a place to live, it's a place to work, it's a place to play, and it's a place to dine. So we have a grand mall still in the section that is commercial. Next slide. The next slide, please. Makarios is also a place where we have half an acre dedicated to an event hall. So that if you came to Makarios, the business section is where you can have your event. You can have your photographs at the various parks inside the commercial, and you can also have it in the water place. Next one. Makarios will have close to 10,000 people living there. At least that's the calculation from the water and mechanical engineering company who are working with us. They said eventually at its full stage, 10,000 people will live in Makarios. And obviously they will need school space for their children. Just behind the mall, therefore, we have a major space, about almost 2 acres set aside for school space. So for some of you asking, commercial space for sale, if there's somebody who wants to buy the space for the school, it basically means they are just plugging in into an opportunity. Next thing about Makarios, next slide. This is the general picture of this area. I often feel like saying that Makarios is at the meeting point of Lekki and Ibeju. I don't like it when people say, oh, the place is in Ibeju. We are not in Ibeju. We are under Ibeju local government. One day that name will change and you'll find that it's the most respected place. You know, today people love to say they are in Lekki Phase 1, but that used to be Morocco. How many of you remember when Lekki Phase 1 was Morocco? Shanty town first class. Shantier than Ajegule. So one day, Ibeju is going to change. But Makarios is not really in Ibeju. We are on Lekki Ekpe Express, albeit under Ibeju Lekki local government. And the advantage this gives us is that at the end of today's presentation, you will drive round, you will find that Makarios has 6 to 8 lane express in front and a 4-lane express at the back. So if you are coming into Makarios, you could, before you came to the front, turn and come through the back route and enter your house. Unless you are coming to the residential, you could also drive through the back to the residential, but to the commercial, but you cannot enter through the residential. We want to give the residential people first-class treatment. I think they deserve it. Put your hands together for our residents even before they come. Next slide. Makarios, why? Why this area? Firstly, it is expected that the level of industrialization in this area is going to be on a level like you have never seen. The largest deep sea seaport in this part of the world, the largest refinery outside of some parts of Europe, likely to kick off this year. We pray it happens so that all this QQQ will come to an end. It is an anachronism, an oxymoron, to be the producer of a product and yet you don't have the product. So this area of Lagos is going to become highly industrialized, which means a large number of people from around the world will come and live on this end. I remember when we were engaging the Egyptian gentleman who is now our consultant COO. He said, I see this area explode because the day is going to come when people who live in Lekki Phase 1 who come and work here will not want to do that journey anymore. They would like to live on this side. Why this area? Because it is referred to as the new Lagos, and we call Makarios the new Ikoyi. Come on, put your hands together for that. Why? Because with the landmark in Ibejuleki, no area of Lagos will be more developed than this. You know, when you are the last to develop, you correct previous errors. And let me just tell you some things that may not be on this map, and the people in the village opposite us don't know, is that the mobile you saw in front of us will be going one day. The houses you saw in front of us will be going one day because a train line is coming. A train line is coming there. I do hope they will give me a better mic. A train line is coming that will come from Marina and take you to Ekpe. Come on, somebody celebrate that. So development is coming on a level like has never been seen, parallel to the road you saw. And I do apologize for the level of traffic you saw when you were coming. It's a current inconvenience for a future convenience. The road is being completely changed. And the quality of construction, if you can notice, is on a high level. It is such that the road will have a high durability. But on that parallel to the road will be a train line. So anyone who lives in this area will have the option of not only driving, but being able to catch the train to go many places. Why this area? You will rise to the top of the list of destinations sought after by tourists. And when that time comes, we want Makarios to be at the forefront of leading it. In the next 5-6 weeks, one of the engineers in Oase will be leaving Germany to come and do a final assessment before they begin to bring the pumps and the equipment to set inside the massive bowl we are building here. I was supposed to be with them in Germany in December. For some reason, I developed cold feet. I said, I'll stay in my house, and I'm glad I did. The day after, the snow took over their country. Why Ibeju? The deep sea port would link West African nations and support regional economic operations. For those who do not import, you may not know the hassle of bringing in containers and other stuff. Mr. Tayo Ladako, who did the welcome speech, all he complains when he talks to me is that the hassle of bringing in his containers. He brings, any time you drink water in Nigeria or any drink that is bottled, the only man who imports all the filtration system is Mr. Tayo Ladako. So help us put your hands together for him. All right, this is a panoramic view of Makarios. This is the 33 hectares, 83.7 acres. This is Lekki Ekpe Expressway. You drove in through the front, but in the future you will not be so. The green you are looking at in front is our water display place. And just beside it to the to the east, is the park for children. It's going to be a water park. It's just behind me here. It's going to be a water park with train driving inside. Come on, put your hands together and celebrate that. We're not imagining it. We're already in discussion with the company that will build it from South Africa. They're currently handling a project in the United States of America. And once they finish, next one will be Makarios. We also want to be very wise. We want one part to be presented, and while we're enjoying that, we open the next. Behind the water is the mall. Behind the mall is the office. And just behind all of them to the east is a car park of about 3 acres for everyone in the business district. One massive car park, whether you came to the water display place, you came to the restaurant in the mall, or you came to the office, one massive car park to handle everyone who comes, that is able to park between 2,000 and 3,000 cars. To the west of the commercial first building is a hotel, and we're looking forward to a 4-star hotel already designed We will build it, but if somebody shows us a good money, we'll sell the design and the land and let them also be with us. Next to the hotel is an office complex. Remember, Makarios is a place where you work, you live, you play, you dine. So there'll be an office complex, and whoever is building the office complex, we want to work with them to create a multiplex kind of office complex where you can come and rent a room for your businesses, for your office work. And next to the office is the event place, which people can come and rent. Next to the event place will be a 2,000 square meter, half an acre land given by Makarios to KRCC so they can have a church there. It's free, but I'm looking at their national superintendent. They should bless Makarios by buying land in the residence. So 2,000 square meters of the commercial part will be a church building given to KRCC, and it's my vision, matter of fact, to come and help them pastor that one.